Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Bank Public Library. I'm Sierra Williams. I'm the children's librarian here, and this is our program called Family Storytime on Race and Diversity. I'm really glad you're here. I want to tell you what I have planned for today. I'm going to read this story. It's called What Do You Do with a Problem? Good question. It's written by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by May Bessam, and it's going to help us start a conversation that I hope you will continue at home about the types of things that are worrying you these days, what kinds of problems you may have, and strategies for handling the problems in your life. Because here's the thing, kids, do you know that grown-ups have problems and things that we worry about? It's true, we do. And hey, grown-ups, do you know that kids have problems? They have a lot of things that they worry about and problems that they deal with. And so we need to develop our problem-solving skills because we use them our whole lives long. No matter what color we are, where we come from, what language we speak, doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how much money you have. Everybody has problems. We have personal problems. Our families have issues that need to be resolved sometimes. Our communities certainly have issues and problems that we need to work together to solve, and that goes on up to our country and even global issues and problems. And so those are things like racial equality and social justice and environmental justice. These are big problems that we usually talk about in this program. And sometimes our personal problems can be tied in to those bigger social issues. And so maybe that's something that you can talk about too. But before we start reading our book, I want to acknowledge and make sure that we recognize that May is National Asian American and Pacific Islander Month. And I just feel like this Heritage Month does not get the same attention or recognition that other Heritage Months do, whether that's in the media, on the news, social media, even in your classrooms. I don't think you learn as much about Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage and history as you do Black history or women's history or even Hispanic heritage. And so that's a problem, right? That's a problem because we need to remember and recognize the contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders to our American history and also the influence they have on our society today. These are communities and populations that help to build the infrastructure of this country by building our railroads, by working on our farmlands. These are innovators of technology that we use today. They are leaders in business and science. They're astronauts and artists and entertainers, everything. And so it's important for us to remember that and acknowledge that because they are not invisible. So look around your community, look around our society and see what contributions that you notice. And one way to do that is by reading. You can read books about real people. You can read books about customs and traditions and culture. You can read books about the experiences of Asian American and Pacific Islander characters. And you can read books by AAPI creators. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna read this book again. What do you do with a problem? Let me scooch around so you can see these illustrations. They're really cool. I want you to notice the detail of them. Also notice the coloring of these illustrations as I read, okay? Here we go. I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was there. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with a problem, I thought. I wanted to make it go away. I shooed it. I scowled at it. I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallows me up? What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if it takes away all of my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this and I worried about that. The more I worried, the bigger my problem became. I wished it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. And the more I avoided my problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. I didn't feel good at all. I couldn't take it anymore. This has to stop, I declared. Maybe I was making my problem bigger and scarier than it actually was. After all, my problem hadn't really swallowed me up or attacked me. I realized I had to face it. So even though I didn't want to, even though I was really afraid, I got ready and I tackled my problem. When I got face to face with it, I discovered something. My problem wasn't what I thought it was. I discovered it had something beautiful inside. My problem held an opportunity. It was an opportunity for me to learn and to grow, to be brave, to do something. It showed me that it was important to look closely because some opportunities only come once. So now I see problems differently. I'm not afraid of them anymore because I know their secret. Every problem has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. And that's the end. Isn't that cool how the pictures went from dark, like just black and white, when his problem is really following him everywhere, to bright and colorful once he tackles it and figures out what to do. I really like that. So let's talk about problems. Problems are tough. They make us worry and they bring us down. In this book, his problem is like a cloud. Remember, and it just gets bigger and bigger as he worries and worries about it. And that's the thing, because our imaginations can really get carried away when we start the what ifs. Are you a what if kind of person? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if she says this? What if he does that? What if something happens to me? What ifs can just get us going in all directions on things that may never, ever, ever happen. But when you get so stressed out that you can't eat, you can't sleep, your tummy is in knots, you can't concentrate, that is a horrible feeling. And it's not good, and it's not necessary to get so worried. The boy said, what if my problem swallows me up? Remember, he was so worried about that? But then he thought, hey, what if I'm actually making my problem bigger and scarier than it really is? Sometimes it's on us, but it feels so daunting. He had the example of a cloud. When I think about problems, to me, they feel like a weight. And this is my visual demonstration of a problem. Like a weight on my mind or on my heart when I'm worried about something or I have a problem to solve. And so the more I'm worried, the more I think about all the what ifs, the more even I try to ignore it. Remember, he tried to ignore it? That didn't help. It kept on growing and growing until, yes, it feels like it's going to swallow you up and take over everything. So what can we do when we have a problem? I'm going to take my problem and put it over here and see if I can ignore it. You think that's going to help if I ignore it over there? Is it going to go away? I don't know about that. We'll see in a minute. Let's talk about what we can do. We can identify our problem. Think about what your problem is. Is it that you forgot to do your homework and you know you're going to get in trouble? Is it that maybe you broke something and your mom is going to be mad? Maybe it's a bigger problem and somebody is bullying you at school, or you're having an issue with a teammate or a classmate. Identify what your problem is and then think about it rationally. Stay calm, breathe, and go to that place inside. Listen to that voice inside of you, your spirit. It will guide you into what you think is right to do. And here's the thing, some problems need action. You got to do something to fix it. Some need words. You have to talk to somebody to get the situation resolved. And sometimes you have to ask for help. That's a big one, asking for help. And it takes bravery to do all of those things. It takes courage to take action, to find the right words to say to somebody. And sometimes it takes courage to ask for help. It can be embarrassing. You might not want to do it, but you know that you need it. And so muster up that strength and ask for help. And I know you will find somebody to help you. And then make a plan. Make a plan. Gather up those tools. The boy in the book had some tools. And let's find the page. Let's find the page where he's making his plan, gathering his tools, and getting ready to tackle his problem. So let's say I've done all that. I figured it out. I know what I need to do, and I tackle my problem. I talk to somebody. I do what I need. Talk to the teacher. Tell her I forgot my homework. Tell her I'll do better next time. I'll use my planner. And can I have an extra day to turn it in? And she says, okay. And so look, problem solved. But sometimes problems aren't solved the way we want them to. Maybe she says, I want you to turn it in, but I have to give you a grade lower than you would have gotten. That's not really what I wanted, but that's how it is this time. But guess what? Now that I've handled that and I know what to expect, then I'll be ready the next time it happens. Hopefully, if you use your planner, you won't forget to do your homework next time, but you might. You'll know what to do, right? So problems don't always resolve themselves in the way that you want, but you'll always learn a lesson and grow. And that's the opportunity that's inside every problem. So this is what I would love for you to do, is to have a conversation at home about maybe problems that you've had in the past. Is there an example of one? How it made you feel? What did you do to solve it? Did you ask for help? How did it make you feel to solve it? And did it turn out the way you wanted it to? And did you learn a lesson? I think that both parents and children could have stories to tell in that regard, and that you would learn from each other. And then what you could do is maybe strategize and talk about things that worry you now and what you might do to handle those down the line. Remember that we can't control what goes on in the outside world. We can't control the sun or the rain or the wind. We can't control other people and what they say and do, but we can control our own choices and the way that we react to things, right? So that means we've got to stay true to ourselves and remember that a problem is an opportunity. It's a chance to do the best that we can do. That's a quote, actually, from a famous musician named Duke Ellington. An opportunity is a chance to do your best. A problem is a chance to do your best because there's an opportunity inside of it. Boom. I just linked that quote to this book. All right? Remember to stay focused on healthy thoughts, on peace and love. Surround yourself with good people who will help you when you need it. Make good choices. Stay well. Stay safe. Here's some peace and love for today. Take some and pass it on. Thanks for joining me.